you know how to do that now. I know y'all know Lala's really a producer and all that good stuff. So she know how to do a couple of things or two.
Get into that story. I want to hear that.
The wedding was fun. I mean, as you guys know, La was my maid of honor. Yola was my matron of honor. La was my maid of honor. And how many girls was it? And Anna was also, wasn't Anna maid? I think I had 2 maid of honors. But yeah, it was like 8 of us.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, we was deep. Yeah, it was like 8 of us.
We was running through that castle. That was
we were turned.
A memorable moment just to be in that castle. That was crazy.
I know, it was fun. It was really fun. Peckerton Castle in Liverpool. And
hey, all my fans, go to Ciara's page because I'm about to hop off of this thing. It's got me trying to do too much. But I love y'all. Follow Ciara. Follow Ciara. Go to her live.
Go to my live because you know my live is lit. Okay, everybody jumping off. I see them.
We'll see y'all.
You gotta talk about the castle. It was so fun in there.
Well, the castle was what was really cool about the castle.
Russ still on his talking about love ya. I see ya. Love ya. Russ, it's over with. Bring him over here.
Exactly. Come on, join the party. So at Peckerton was really cool. It was in Liverpool, and the hotel we stayed at was the town we were in Liverpool, as you guys know, I think was where the Beatles were founded. And that was a really cool spot, just being there firstly. And then the actual castle was like this. It was a castle that is never used like on a regular. It was like this, not vacant because it still was active, but it was really a private owned castle by family that just built it to match another castle that was like on the hill somewhere nearby. And we literally had it to ourselves.
That was fun.
That was great. Fun. We had it to ourselves.
Well, the crazy thing is we were going to go to Asheville, North Carolina and do it there. And if you remember, we hadn't sent out the wedding invitations yet. Like we were trying to intentionally, because we knew people were going to try to be at their wedding. Yeah, people were going to try to be at our wedding, shooting, and that kind of stuff. And everyone be talking about it. So we didn't want it to be like that. So we really wanted it to be more of a family thing and just have like 100 people.
It was
total,
perfect.
50 and 50, make it fun. And
it was perfect. What are you over there eating? What are you eating?
She over there eating.
Meanwhile, I'm looking at the Peloton bike like this.
Got to get on.
I've been talking about
who do you ride to on Peloton?
I like Alex. What's Alex's last name on Peloton that I like? Alex Toussaint.
Got you.
I feel like I wrote.
He's
good. I love Ali Love.
We ride Ali Love.
I gotta try that one. I gotta try that one. All right, I'm gonna go get in shape while you guys keep talking about the castle and the love, and I'm gonna keep watching. Because I know other people want to get on too. I don't want to take all the time.
I know, but
we're gonna have to do this a long chat with you.
Exactly, long.
Yeah,
maybe you girls do something.
Exactly.
So wait, let me ask you this. Before I go, let me ask you this. What is your response when people ask you what was the prayer? What do you say? Because that's all people want to know.
Really?
You be acting like you don't hear people asking you the damn question. What was the prayer? That's what they want to know. What was it?
Oh,
because I pray with you many nights. I'm like, did you keep that one?
The point is what you just said, that I prayed many nights. Okay. I think that's the biggest thing is like people always say the prayer. It's not just one prayer. It's multiple prayers. Like, especially, when you're going through a big transition in life. Like for me, as we, all know, I was single mom in it. That was something I never envisioned, never imagined. And I think at that point, when you're in a time like that in your life, you have to think about like exactly where you are and where you want to go. And so,
because I remember you always telling me like you have to envision it, speak it, believe it.
You have to, because if you don't have a vision for where you're trying to get to, you'll just keep shooting in the dark. You won't get anywhere. And so I think that was the biggest thing is like, I knew at that place at that time in my life that for me, I had to be intentional.
Look at Russ. Right.
No, I did. I had to be intentional.
Well, the funny thing is that everybody asks, what the prayer was for Ciara, but nobody really asked me what was the prayer for me.
Nobody ever. You're right. Nobody. Okay, bro. What was the prayer for you?
So let me tell y'all something. I was single. I was doing, hanging out, doing thing, whatever that means.
Doing
And,
what, bro? Doing what thing?
hey, you know what I'm saying? Listen. That's a later conversation.
Oh Lord.
But anyway, so I'm hanging out, and I think ultimately though, you know, for me, I never forget like being in this space of like, what do I really want? Like, what am I looking for? You know, and I think, you know, really, I wanted to be, I wanted a relationship, a long-lasting relationship. I wanted love. I wanted kids. I wanted family. You know, I didn't want perfection. I just wanted, I wanted the perfect thing for me. And so, anyway, so I ended up writing down my 5 non-negotiables, because really,
Oh wow.
really, marriage is a partnership. It's a business deal in a way, but it's really a partnership. It's like, hey, we're going to do this forever. Like, how are we going to partner and do this, right? And so, for me, I thought of it that way. I was like, okay, well, when you go into a partnership deal or a business type deal, you want to think about what are your non-negotiables? What are the things that, you know, this is what I want, and this is what I have to have, and this is what I'm looking for. So I wrote down my 5 non-negotiables, and you know, producer Lala over here getting on the deets.
I'm going in. Look, how did I turn into the damn interviewer?
But the reality is, hold on one second. The reality is that, sorry, I'm just texting her. The reality is that for me, for the 5 non-negotiables was more what I had to write down. I had to write down what those were. I had to have a clear vision of what that was. And so for my 5 non-negotiables, the first one is I wanted a woman of faith. That's the number one thing I wanted.
And that was important to her.
I wanted a woman of faith. The second thing is I wanted a woman who was faithful. The third thing I wanted is, ultimately, I wanted an independent woman. Okay. I wanted a person that didn't have to be Ciara. They could be doing whatever, but they had their own identity. They had their own perspective on what they wanted to do in life and how they wanted to impact people. And that was something that I noticed from C the first time we met, and how she spoke about others. The fourth thing was I wanted a woman who was going to love me the way that my mom loved my dad when he was on his deathbed, you know, and how my mom took care of my dad no matter what the circumstances were, no matter how hard it got. You know, our family, you know, to be honest, we went bankrupt at one point, and just, it was hard. It was heavy times, and you have to be able to, you know, my dad always knew that we were going to be good, you know, that we were going to be good. My brother, myself, and my sister, that we were going to be okay, because my mom was helping lead the way, and she had a great perspective. And the fifth thing was, ultimately, I wanted a woman who was going to tilt the room, right? When you walk in the room, you know, if she walks in the room, the whole furniture just slides to her.
Okay.
You know? And so the 5 things, my 5 non-negotiables were one woman of faith. Second thing was one woman who's faithful. Third thing was one woman who was independent. Fourth thing was I wanted a woman who, who loved me the way that my mom loved my dad. And the fifth thing was, you know, ultimately, is I wanted a woman who would tilt the room.
Tilt the room.
I wasn't going to settle for 3 out of the 5 or 4 out of the 5. We were going to go 5 for 5, and that was it.
And you got it.
And we got 5 for 5 plus some more.
You got it.
Yeah,
you
so
got it.
That was really what we were.
Are you crying?
Yes, I am. Sorry, because I'm hormonal too. But I mean, I guess
it is sweet,
yeah.
but it's so nice to hear it all over again.
Yeah. Well, I think the cool thing is, like, even when you get to take time and really hear, like, you know, when we talk about these things, is that our prayers are pretty much lined up. I think that's probably like the thing that I hear out of it when we talk about it and we say these things back, because we've talked about this, you know, time and time again, you know, whether it's with our friends or just people when we're having conversations about our journey. And I think the thing that stands out the most to me is that we were in sync. You know, we talk about being equally yoked. And that moment of when you pray, I think for anything in life, I don't care if it's like love, if it's business, if it's the vision you have for yourself, like even as a single person, right? You know, I think for whatever it is, because at that time period, you know, I was a single mom. So I'm like, and I was single, right? So.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, I know. You've been there many nights.
Yes.
But at that time, you know, you got to be intentional. Like, you know, I really believe you can't get anywhere in life without a compass of something. You got to have a compass. If you're trying to get somewhere in life, you got to have some kind of compass, because again, otherwise you're just shooting in the dark. You're just kind of hoping and guessing, and like you kind of like, I feel like you make life more complicated and you make the journey more complex
Right.
when you
But
know,
I feel like even during those times, you were still so positive about just your outlook, where a lot of people would just be over everything, and you still just kept a positive spirit and positive attitude throughout that whole time.
yeah, I mean, that was important to me, because that was the thing that I knew was going to keep me up.
Right.
Because if I decided to think negatively and being in my circumstance, then I knew that was going to set me back. And I think my biggest fear I have is losing my identity, like who I am as a like that's one of my biggest fears, is like not knowing who I am. And I think sometimes when we're like wrapped up in like the situation, when it's not the best situation, just like the idea of it, like not even saying like it's necessarily like a particular thing, but just in general where we are, if we're wrapped up in that moment, then we lose sight of like what really is important, and we just lose sight of everything. And I think for me, I love being happy. Like happiness is a big part of my identity. So if I take that away, I'm not being who I am, and then that's going to trickle down to my son. Like at that time period, I'm like, that would trickle down there. That would trickle down to every.
One of the things I always tell
Everything.
is
Everything, not even just that, but you know, the
work,
everything,
just
everything, my career, everything. Like I literally won't be, you know, my best me, right?
one of the things we always talk about. I always try to tell her is that there's a difference between happiness and joy, right? And I think you want to be happy. Happiness is good, but really trying to have joy, right? And I think
like
joy is stronger because it's deeper. And I think, you know, happiness, we have different moments of happiness, upset, you know, sad, these things, these emotional things that take us high and low. But the real foundation of joy, and I think one of the things that I know for us is that we found true joy, because on the first day we met, we started talking about this idea of, I said, you know, I want a woman if I'm going to be with somebody, I want a woman who's going to be equally yoked. Somebody who has the same, you know, that's biblical. I wanted somebody that had the same viewpoint on life and where they wanted to be and what they wanted. And we're not going to be perfect by any means, but at the end of the day, we're going to be equally yoked in how we want to raise our kids and how we want to be able to impact and the things that we think about and the things that we do. And so I think that's where it's made it easy on us, in the sense that when I say that everything hasn't been easy, well, what I mean is that when we have a tough moment, it's easy for us.
Challenge.
Or anything like that, or anything that's going on in life, whether it's football, music, life, you know, whatever it may be, kids, anything, right? Is that we can always find that center place, right? And we always have joy in that. And I think that gives us the greatest peace, and is the most calming thing in the world. And God is the center of it all. And I remember when we first got engaged. When we first got engaged that night, March 11th. We were. I said to her, you know, when she said yes, I said, you know, the only thing that I pray for in our relationship is not to have all these things and this and that, but for God to be at the center of it all.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing that if we can do that, we'll be forever.
Do anything.
And so
forever.
That's what we prayed on, and we literally prayed in that moment on that. So.
I love that. Why are people like, La, are you having a talk show right now?
I forgot these people
They
online.
La said 10 minutes ago she had to go work out. She's still
I thought I was talking to my sister. I even forgot all about everybody.
By the way, I'm going to schedule my therapy session with you, Russ, for later on today. So you pencil me in. These people want to talk to you guys. I got to get off and let other people get on.
Well, we love you, La.
I love you guys so much. Love y'all.
Okay, have a good workout.
Call me after.
Okay, bye.
Bye, dear. Bye.
So funny.